Welcome back to another episode of the Pillars of Man podcast. Gentlemen, the deep dive for today is nihilism. Yep, maybe more specifically, apathy, because nihilism goes a little deep. You got the moral part of it, the epistemological part of it. Yeah, like the super lofty, theoretical philosophy stuff. So I'll try and filter it through the demon. It's some sort, I'm going to attribute it to, yes, a spiritual demon, as I use the Christian lens right there, but it's one of the worst, one of the most formidable foes for the modern man that any of us are going to have to fight. You're going to have to fend this one off if you're trying to make it in the 21st century realm. Very anecdotal to begin with, because all I have for you is personal experiences, how it continues to happen to me on a daily basis. And so, what I see I hope it is the same thing you see. If you're just kind of chilling, and that doesn't mean you're lazy. I don't want to connotate chilling with degeneracy. You are actively harming yourself. You're doing nothing. Loser. You're not going anywhere. No, no, no. Chilling is kind of just you are remaining where you're at. You're just okay with where you are. And it's just continuing to follow along those lines. You most likely work. You most likely have a job. You have these survival obligations. And when they're taken care of as a human being, and once again, I'll speak for myself, being here in America, my quality of life is directly attached to a first world developed country. And so when you are not doing anything illegal, okay, you're not trolling other human beings and you're just causing all sorts of mayhem and havoc upon yourself because, I don't know, you got the popo after you for just being ridiculous. Most of us, no, that's not an issue. That's a wonderful thing in and of itself. There's a lot of people here in the States. And so what I should say, what little. I would love to say how much, but free time nowadays, I don't know if this is just me. The older I get, the more scarce it becomes. And with that free time, that's what I mean. Right there. Chilling. I do what I like to do. I do what I know I enjoy. I do very familiar things. I am a creature of habit. I am going to return to these very predictable outcomes because I know I don't even need to know. It's autopilot after a certain point. When you're old enough, when you've done, it's been enough years and you've done these things for long enough, I know that activity, that task, having my day structured like this is going to give me most often an outcome of comfort and relaxation. And it's so weird because right there in this space of familiarity and comfort is where the seeds of apathy will begin to sow. And when you leave that unchecked, and you start radical things begin to happen to you. I'm going to get into that in a second. Emotional upheavals and maybe a spiritual awakening of some sort. Christ, religion, just you are noticing certain things, certain reoccurring feelings and events in your life that you simply cannot ignore anymore. I can never get past a mild level of kind of mundane satisfaction. I'm not really ever lit up. I'm not fully enthused to go into the future of my life. Let's not even take it that far. To go into tomorrow. I there's no I'm never thinking about the motivation to become a better man. It's none of that. It is instead a very trivial loop of your employment obligation so that food's on the table, lights are on, water's running, bills are paid, rent is given, stolen. It's okay. Given to wherever it needs to go. Taxes are also paid. And so, right, when like as an adult and you do all of that, this is what I mean. The rest of the world is going to leave you alone. When you have a man who is alone and it's just him, immediate family, everyone's grown, moved out, doing their own thing. Yeah, well, we see each other for the holidays, not really much after that. Not really any close friends. There's no romantic life, active romantic life. So it's just going to be him and what? It's going to be him and a lot of time. It's going to be him and all of that space for whenever he's free, whatever he wants. And I'm noticing this surge in apathy. And I see it in myself. What is really going on here? This begins to get confusing. This is the game that I want to play. I bought this game. I pre-ordered it. Okay, there was an intentional plan. Oh my god, the preview looks dope. The trailer was really good. Okay, AAA studios nowadays be dropping the ball though. Okay, like there's this crazy, and I'm all for it. There's this crazy resurgence, revival of the indie developers. Some of these guys out here killing the game, and it's like, what? How big is your studio? How many members are in your team? And then you got these like massive corporation AAA companies, and what they come out with is just like, this is so doo doo. I'm sorry. Like, there has to be something going on. This is like some sort of saboteur within the company. There ain't no way. It's hard to believe. You guys greenlit this as the end product. I'm paying how much? 70? I mean, it's not even 70 because right, like they'll put 70 as like this tiny little print in like the bottom corner of the ad, and they'll put in bold like the 100 120 because of course you should bundle it, the ultimate bundle with the pre-order and I don't know, a keychain, and just like, oh my god, bro. And that is what I have as the highlight of my life. That's what I'm looking forward to. What else? What else is there? Oh, okay. And another show, another season, this fictional universe, this fantastical setting, dope, dope. Until what you're doing is killing you. At least it feels like it, because it doesn't require anything. It doesn't require much. You need to sit there. You need to be conscious. So you're going to have your eyes open. You're going to be staring at the screen, and you're going to be watching these events unfold in this fictional universe. And it's great. But after enough time passes, you start to really question it. Again, the apathy begins to take hold of you. Brother, I really want to just sit here and just continue watching this. This is life. This is what is, good for me. And you begin to find this everywhere. Well, how about I not do this then? How about I go out to the bar? I'll go out to like a public setting, social setting, take a sip, vibe with people. and you'll do it like that. And then, that helps, community, friends, that's, times of bonding and companionship. No, no, no. That is super dope. But when it is just all there is, you know what I'm saying? It's the same old, same old. The conversations kind of just resume and bounce back and forth between the go-tos, the usual topics, the team, the economic climate, okay, like, the current relationship woes of any member of the friend circle that's in one. Nothing really more than that. And then it's kind of like, hey, you dap it up, but it's like, all right, I'll see you next time, bro, where we're going to do the same exact thing. It's it's in all of it. All parts of a man's free time. The games, the shows, the entertainment, you know, the escapism, the vice. And maybe vice is going a little bit too far. Not all of us are out there getting friggin' belligerently hammered. It's really just, a few drinks or whatnot, really just, catch up and shoot the crap. But when you're shooting the same old crap, you find yourself questioning, is there more for me today? There absolutely is. It's just this. If there is a line being drawn in the sand right there, maybe that's the initial moment a man is about to cross it. He's about to go into this uncharted, a very different realm of existence. Because when you're trying to break through the boring, monotonous nature of your life that like the back of your hand, because it's the only way that you have ever lived it, that's when you begin to ask the deeper questions of, is this it for me? And I want to freeze it right there for a second. You already know. That's why it's so painful. That's why so many of us, as grown but men, we will do everything and anything possible to avoid that question right here. Because it's kind of like, what's behind that door. Okay? What is behind door number 1, 2, 3? I mean, there's really only one. It stands all by itself, the lone door, because all the other ones you've been walking through in and out, in and out, in and out your entire life. So it kind of singles this remaining door. And that is the only one that if you walk through it, you'll be entering this land of struggle and difficulty, challenge and strife, the unknown, the fear, and the chaos. It's all of it, and it's so much more. When you're trying to become more, when you are asking for more and you are trying to become better, it is the only way. That's why I say it. I mean, hey, this is it, man. This is just, there is no other path. Because you and I, the older you are, I mean, there's only so much to do unless you've already made it. Unless, you have financial freedom. And then the world really is your oyster. It's like, oh, I'll just fly here. Like, that's my go to. It's, Like, it's not the next video game or the next show or season. It's the next country. It's the next experience. It's the next whatever. It's the next kid. Third, fourth, fifth kid is on the way. That's completely different. But that's rare. That is not the majority. This is what's frightening, startling. That for the majority, what there is to light the horizon of the next day is the exact same. So breaking through that is to leave the current comfort of your life right here. It feels so counterintuitive because I am doing everything that I always do. And that's why I feel so apathetic. That's why I don't really care about anything. There's just no meaning in any of this. It's all gone, run dry, you know, bled thin. I need a new endeavor. I need a new journey to embark upon. And when there's only one left, the choice is, will you continue to suffer the same vicious cycle of your life on this repeat of comfort in what you know? Or will you break it and you snap it so that it unfolds from a circle and it turns into a straight line towards who knows? See, that's the thing. Who knows? I couldn't tell you. You wouldn't be able to, and yes, with predictive prowess and by the powers of our logic and analytical deduction, you can try and imagine and do your best to, just picture it right here. I can just, no, it's cool. I can simulate it right now in my head. Oh, it might be like that. No, bro. You can play that game for the rest of your life. Dangerous, in fact. Depending on how imaginative you are, might be a little bit more attractive than to actually live it and go and experience it yourself. It's just to do that takes you in the direction of the problems, of maybe coming to terms with mistakes that you made that allowed it to get like this. Maybe that wasn't your plan from out the gate, from the beginning. Maybe even when you were a child, you had that vision. Very young. I did. Okay. I think it was a astronaut. And then I was like, oh, that's easy. I'll definitely be an astronaut. And if not an astronaut, firefighter for sure. Not even close. Not even close, brother. And you need to have this ideal image for you and your life. Because when you head that way, even if you don't make it, you are still, you have a bullseye to aim for. That bullseye, trying to hit it, trying to make it, survive the marathon, the voyage, the climb, pick your metaphor, is what helps you develop all of these different parts of yourself. Developing them is an adventure in and of itself. As a man, let's go of the shiny external objects and activities that keep him stuck in a life that doesn't change, so that he may begin diving into his greatest work and the ultimate pursuit any man could ever go on. That's you. That's to go in. That is you. The more I think about this, okay, and let's see if we can meet eye to eye right here, bro. The more I meditate on this, the more I come to the conclusion the answer has to be you. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Yeah, no, like where are you going to go? If you're already stretched pretty thin, making sure you're surviving. Surviving is by no means easy nowadays, tough times. I'm a man that believes that. I classify this current modern landscape, present day, modern America 2025, almost 2026, is tough times. It's not a breeze anymore to 3 warm meals a day, bills are all bills are all paid and a surplus for you. Surplus? What surplus? Uncle Sam's taking it, or more bills are taking it, or maybe that debt, that loan, paying back that loan, or supporting the mortgage. I mean, it's going to something. And it's not really going to come back to be reinvested in you. When you're living a life like that, it gets very overwhelming and you feel trapped. You feel trapped. You're not really going to want to do anything. The monotonous nature of that everyday, familiar go to activities, they become this much more enticing, even though, as we have already established right here, you don't even really want to do these things anymore, but it's what you know. So you're going to keep doing them. You keep doing them, your life becomes sealed in this way. You cut off potential, opportunity, and chance from blooming. That is where you're able to have different. That's how you grow. That's how things can really change. You can really, meet new people. You can have that relationship you want. You can go where you want to go and you can do what you want to do. But how though? Truly. Okay. Are you down? I'm so down. I feel like any sane man is down. But when you're buried underneath all of that nihilism and apathy, how do you cultivate this renewed sense of direction for yourself? That's where you have to understand the self is the answer. And I say that the self is the answer because it will begin it has to begin with you asking, well, if it's not this, and that's been established, then what? Then what would you do? Where would you go? How would you live? And you get very ambitious with this. You can chunk this. You can go as far as you want. The type of person that I am, I don't go that far. 1 year is a massive stretch for me. It's just kind of my personality. 1 year is like, oh wow, that is an intense journey. But then people can do 3, 5, a decade. Okay, what's the 10-year vision? If you're not about that, then you can absolutely do the 3-month vision. You can do the half a year vision. Where I'm at, where I live, we're on the cusp of winter, a few weeks out. And so, what do I want my life to look like when spring breaks? When spring flowers first bloom and all the snow has finally melted, we are beginning March. That is so, I like shorter time frames because it's more tangible for me. It's something I can actually chew on. Whereas, anything else bigger than that is kind of just like your mouth is full and yeah, I'm just gonna choke. And you get really, really clear on that. See, as soon as you do this, you already begin to head into friction. You feel it immediately. It's very off-putting, especially when you're so used to how everything always is. This is a severe pattern break right here. And so that's what makes it difficult. But remember, that's the door. That's the golden door. It's the best door for you to go through because that's the one that leads to what you cannot predict and what you do not know. That's for you to find out. That's for you to go there, be there, and be like, oh, that's what this is like. And there's so many levels. That's like that's the great journey of life. To help you really start going yourself, I want you to understand right here and right now, you're already in the best place possible to begin doing that. You don't need anything else. That's what's so crazy about this. And I believe that's actually pretty unique to these modern times. Never before has, a single man, and if he has secured shelter, Wi-Fi connection, and basic necessities, and we went over all of that, if you have these 3, brother, you are good to go. You have everything you need right now. That's it to begin. to start this process of heading towards what you really want. Kind of how I told you to think about your best life, your best outcomes and your best results. And then you're just whittling. You're just whittling. You're just bringing it down from up here. You're bringing it down all the way down here to right now, to today. What can I do today? Are you at the tail end of your day? Unless you're literally about to go to sleep. What in the world is my podcast like a lullaby for you? I'm not judging. That would just be really interesting. I highly doubt it. So you probably have at least a little bit more time before your day ends. Brother, that time is a gift and it's for you. It's all for you. Apathy is the opponent that blinds you, that tries to hide it from you. Well, no. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Relax. Put your feet up. Go back to what you always know. But behind that apathy is that gift of time. And if you would seize it because it belongs to you, you absolutely can get out of the way. Okay. Literally just, kick apathy out of the way momentarily. It's probably going to come back. That's kind of the nature of, nihilism and not caring and enthusiasm waning, the excitement, it doesn't last. The motivation is fleeting. My mentor taught me, you must hold on to that pocket of time so that in it you can do something that is going to help you get a little bit closer to a more satisfying and a more enjoyable life. This is very practical. Extremely. This is no longer conceptual because you don't actually have to go anywhere. You see, nor do you need to buy anything. Go get something or get ready for or prepare for. No, it begins the moment you take that time back. Straight up. Straight up. I mean, and if you feel as though it's not worth doing because it seems so small, it seems so microscopic. I don't really, what's this? I'm just going to plan for something. And what am I going to do? Take 15, 30 minutes and just, think about my dream life. And then, what's one thing I can do to get closer to that? That might literally be, I'm going to have to look something up. What? Go to Google, like check out an article, ask ChatGPT a question, look up a video to watch on YouTube. Yes. And that's why you and I are in such a blessed, unique time. Pros and cons to all the technological innovations from modernity. That's very well within your power, brother. When you don't utilize it, when you ignore it, you give it away. That's all it is. That's all it is. Giving it away doesn't mean you can't have it back. It doesn't mean it has vanished into thin air permanently. This is the trick to apathy for men. Especially when you get older, you kind of begin thinking to yourself, it's too late. Too much time has passed. I have not tried for too long. Trying now is not going to be enough. Such a lie. Such lethal deception. Because you have to remember where it is coming from. The self is the answer in this way. Because if you're thinking that and you're believing that, it's you doing that to you. Unless, and this is pretty extreme. This is tough. Okay, I'm not going to say it's impossible. What is impossible? But for a man to actually have somebody actively whispering in his ear on a daily basis, you can't. You're not good enough. You suck. Okay, you're too ugly. You're too short. Okay, you're just not Chad enough. That's for my Zoomers. That's for Zoomer and Alpha Kings right there. All right, that one's going to hit home. You not Chad enough. You okay? for my older kings, you not handsome enough. All of that inadequacy broken in some way, incomplete in some way, shape, or form. It's all BS. And my proof to you that it is all BS is because you got to get so for real in this moment. You have to ask yourself, are any of those things strong enough to stop me from taking that action? Is the time still there? It is. It is because you are alive, brother. You're here. You woke up. So if you want it, you can take it. It belongs to you, and it has not yet evaporated. It won't until you fall back asleep and you enter the next day without having done anything with the time today. That's your choice. That's your choice. If you're not going to do anything about it, you have to. That does beg the question: why am I not? What do you believe, bro? What are you talking about with yourself in your own head? What is the content of those conversations? You feel as though you are broken in some way. You're not. That you are not enough. You're so bothered by what they're saying and what they're thinking. F them. They will never live your life, and they aren't you. Don't waste the breath, the time, and the effort to try and help them understand. There'll be plenty of understanding when they see you joyful, at peace, purposeful, thriving, and going after what you know you truly want. I don't mean to be cliche, but sometimes once in a while, I bring up the classics. Okay? This is why old school's dope. This is why the time-tested traditional concepts are fire, but action is what you need because it will always speak louder than anything you could say to anyone, including yourself. I will repeat yet again, because you are the answer. If you're being stopped, if the self is the answer, and if the self is being stopped, you're being hindered, something is serving as a blockade in front of you, you must, okay, as both warrior and man, you must destroy it. Now, but I'm not, that doesn't mean, okay, all right, I'm going to have to fight corruption in the government. I'm going to have to go and, what I'm saying, take over the world so that I can rearrange all of this regulation and rules and laws and the legislation and whatnot. Let me really build out the utopian environment so that me and anybody else who wants to be successful really does have an honest shot. No, bro. Absolutely not. But if you do that, that's super. You got my support. Okay. Best of luck, brother. Give me a call when you finish. I'll be, I'll be like, I'll be there. I'll be there. Just like, okay, like, all right. How does this work? No, no, man. You can really just focus on the fact that, are you going to take a little bit of time and help yourself or not? It really is that simple. It's just very difficult to do. You have to think about the years and years and years of petrification. It's how apathy cements a man. It keeps you in bondage of, but you could just take that hit. You just take that hit. I mean, it's not that expensive. I know. I know myself. I used to partake too long I used to partake too much way back in the day. It's not that crazy, right? It's not even out of the way. It's like on your way home from work. All right. There are so many of them nowadays. You take a pull, oh, the euphoria washes over you and everything's fine. And you don't care until you get sober. And then you realize you are faced with the full strength of the horrors that you do really care and you feel like poo poo all over again. You see, the cycle is very vicious because it never stops. Okay. If you and I are hamsters, right? And it's like we're trying to keep up, what happens when you and I stop? Then it's just like, oh God, you know what I'm saying? You just start flipping with it. All right. Up, down, slam, up, down, slam. That's painful. That's torturous, cruel, and unusually. That kind of torment born from apathy. When modernity allows you to stay in these spaces and existences of meaningless instant gratification, that's what really destroys a man from the inside out. Because I'm not going to stop. I will never stop telling you that you have it in here, that it's all in here. And that's where you're being broken down, brother. That you're being robbed in there, because when you get in here, that's how you do something about it. And you absolutely can. It's just going to come down to when the choice arrives. And you see, the gift of that choice, or the curse of it. There's this very stark duality that occurs every once a day, at least once a day, depending on how your day is structured. I think I get like 3 to 5 honest ones. Full transparency. It's definitely when I first wake up. I got some time. Okay. And then maybe around lunch, yeah, I got some time. And then after I get home from work, I definitely have some time. And then before I sleep, I got a little bit more time too. So that's like 4. That's like 4 good ones right there. And I mean, they range. Some days are different than others slightly. Maybe, I got 4 solid hours, or maybe I got 4 solid 15-minute blocks. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're going to know. You're going to know. No cope, bro. No denial. You're going to know right here and right now, I'm going to choose. Apathy, routine, monotony, okay, would have you be on autopilot so that you don't make the choice. You don't even see it as a choice. Creatures of habit. I'm going to do what I always do. The next episode is up. I'm trying to finish the season. Okay. I'm trying to climb ranked. Looking for a better loot. All right. All my stuff is blue right now. I'm trying to get my first purple item. I, I'm with it. That's how I unwind. Those are my days off. That's how I get my R&R. I freaking love games, and I love it all. Big entertainment guy. But when it's destroying your life, that's why it has to become, you must recognize it as a choice. It's not just, life is not happening to me. You will begin happening to your life when you take control. That control belongs to you. Rightfully so, in your hands. It's what you need, and it's what you already have. My question to you today is, brother, do you or do you not want it? If you don't want it, you don't have to take it. You don't have to live it. You don't have to listen to me anymore. I just don't want you to make that decision and then continue dealing with all the pain and suffering of the truth that you're not allowing yourself to admit. Go the other way. Accept that, no, I do. I'm going to. That choice is here, and I'll take a little bit of time back. I'll go for it. I'll do it. I'll do at least a little bit for myself, because then I can sleep with the peace tonight, knowing I took a step in the right direction. I did something for myself. You can be proud of that. Love it, cherish it, and don't let anyone else take it away from you. Because they're not you, and they're not living your life right now. They could not know why it is so hard for you not to do it, not to pick up the choice that your life needs. They can try, they can act, they can imagine, okay? And like really try to, step in that POV. It is not possible. Not yet. Not yet. Maybe, I don't know. We're getting some weird robo anime waifus launching. So I don't know. Maybe in the next 5 years, they'll create a machine in which we can like hop in each other's POV. Good Lord. Right? What did he say? What did the late great Tesla say? Man made horrors beyond my comprehension. I don't even want to comprehend that kind of horror. Let's not. We'll stay right here and I'll end on this. Brother, if you just can't care about anything, if like, you know what I'm saying? It's just me, okay? No girl. My bills are paid, but that's it. I don't really have any close friends or anything like that. You know, like, oh, I got some of my boys, but like when we kick it, it's really just the same old, same old. Nothing else really besides that. And you're just, you know that you're dying for something, some kind of adventure, some kind of spice of life. And you need that, you need something to re-energize you, to give you powerful and profound meaning, to to you know tackle your personal problems and challenges all the way to the very end, okay, to your last breath, whenever it may be. Who cares? Because it really could be next year, or it could be next century. Who knows? It doesn't matter. What matters is that you take the time right now to do with it what you truly want to. I believe you're here today. You're kind of checking out, the self-improvement content on my podcast. Thank you so much. But you're doing that because there is a part of you, maybe deep, super deep down here, that is screaming for more because you are meant for more. Of course you are, brother. I want you to accept this. I want you to accept this and see this so that you can go and find out. That's what it takes. That's how you begin to build a life you want to get up for. Let that be the goal. You know, I know, big booties, okay, on your first lady, okay, the boat to go with it, to put her on, okay. It's like, how can you complain? I have a yacht, okay. Be on the yacht. You should be big chilling right now, okay. You know what I mean? And maybe put on a ring on it too, and then lots of babies, okay. And then it's like this, that's going to be tons of diapers, snacks, tuition. It's a lot. It's so much. It's wonderful though. And private jet and paradise and Cancun and whatnot. Let that, I highly recommend you let those things be the byproduct. Those things don't need to be the goal. I think that they will happen naturally. They will cascade from the monumental impact that is going to take over your life because you were a man who decided one day, you woke up, you said enough, and you took the responsibility of recognizing when that choice arrives on a daily basis. You seize it, you use it for figuring out what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go. That's going to lead you into, eventually, sooner or later, I bet you sooner, you're going to start waking up and you're going to open your eyes. And the first feeling is, I just can't wait to live today. That has to be the very opposite of this present day surge in apathy that's attacking all of us as men, just trying to find our way in this world, securing our own slices of the pie, and being able to die with the peace that I gave it everything I got. I did everything that I really wanted to do, and I did it my way. Because I just didn't, because I didn't let me stop myself. Maybe you need a little bit of help. Maybe that's a difficult that's a fight that is hard. It's hard for you to continue lone wolfing it, lone kinging it, as much of a freaking handsome beast as you are. I got you, brother. I'm right here. And so I thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening, watching, whatever platform you're on right now. This is the official Pillars of Man podcast hosted by yours truly. My name's Kumo. And that's what I do. I talk a little bit about everything and anything that goes into God, anime, bodybuilding, philosophy, even movies, all aimed at helping any man become his very best version. You're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button for me. You'll know exactly when my next episode comes out. And I really hope to see you for that next one. But until then, take it easy. Take good care of yourself. You are enough. You are ready. And you're good to go, brother. I'm right behind you. I love you so much. Peace.